Hey guys, what's up? Hope you're having a good night so far. Just a little bit of news today. You got that whole Bell Let's Talk thing going on right now. And that's just funny to me. I love it whenever I see companies and stuff coming out and with a campaign being like, we need to talk about mental health and we want to help you people and all this shit. And now, you see on Twitter, you have Justin Trudeau and all the liberals retweeting this Bell, let's talk. Bell, let's talk. It's like, fuck Bell, first of all, for banning Faith Goldie originally when she first came out there. But these companies are given monopolies on the fucking market, and then we're supposed to believe they're all good and great, but they're actively censoring people that disagree with like liberal platforms. And it's funny, I saw some criticisms of this from like Marxists and whatnot, and how Bell actually doesn't pay their employees too well, and how they treat them like shit. So, and how their mental health is going crazy, and they're like, until Bell fixes this, we're not going to take them seriously or whatnot. But hey guys, how's it going? Hey Zeus, R.I.P. the one, Richard. But it's funny because like the thing that nobody ever mentions about the solution for these Marxists in this article fight, let's talk the hypocrisy of Bell Canada and mental health under capitalism. And essentially they're blaming capitalism for the whole article for creating the environment where people have mental health issues. And they're saying that Bell Media it's ironic that they're promoting this campaign. So, I somewhat agree to some extent, even with these Marxists, but their solution is what? More government, more regulations. Whereas if we didn't have the CRTC and all these other regulations preventing competitors from coming into the market, forcing a certain amount of Canadian content to only be available, they make sure that the content holders in Canada are primarily Canadian, the people with broadcasting license and stuff. So they're creating a market. These Marxists, they can't see that the market is extremely regulated. So they blame capitalism when it's really crony capitalism and corporatism. It's just funny to me. And they're like, oh, this will solve it. We need to nationalize everything. It's like, no, we just need more competition. And then they can't do this. And I was looking at the rates that Canadians pay for their phone bills compared to the most of the world. And we pay the most pretty much out of anybody. Like Finland and stuff, we pay like 70 times higher than people in like India, like 40 times higher than people in Finland. Like the amount we pay for data is insane. This is purely because of the CRTC and the regulations and all this stuff. It has nothing to do. We don't need more government intervention to cut rates and prices and stuff and whatnot. That doesn't help. They're not even doing that anyways. But hey, Julie, how's it going? AJ would make a good finance minister. Oh, thank you. Oh, was it, the finance minister wasn't that the Grey Wall guy? The guy who has all these gambling debts? Isn't that ironic how I'm pretty sure that is he's a part of the finance ministers, or he's on the board. And it's like this guy who has crazy gambling debts, you're going to put him on there. And also talking about that Sikh guy in office, he also somehow raised like $600,000 to pay off his debts. And we're not really getting more information about this. And you're like, the Liberals held a fundraiser like $500 a plate, because I'm pretty sure they really didn't want the humiliation of another MP stepping down. That would just look pretty bad for them. So they're going to do whatever they can to keep this guy on board as long as they can. Bernier doesn't talk about it enough. He seems fixated on dairy, on what exactly? Immigration. Bernier doesn't talk about, well, that's true, but the dairy cartel, all these things is also good to talk about. And I'm glad some things are being mentioned at least. Like the problem is there's so many things that are taboo in Canadian culture now. You can't talk about it. Like most conservatives preach the diversity is our strength mantra and all that bullshit because they're already so far left that, you know, saying diversity isn't really that good of an idea maybe is like extremely taboo in Canada. It's like saying that is kind of good enough. Hey, Jon Snow, how's it going, buddy? More white boys being aborted. The war on white men is on. Oh yeah, did you guys hear about what was going on? I think in Virginia, there was they're trying to make third trimester abortions legal, and they have this governor guy talking on video, saying how, you know, we would deliver the baby, we would resuscitate them, you know, like sit between, and the third trimester is between 7 and 9 months. So they're gonna abort babies between 7 and 9 months. This is what they're considering, and like, you know, it's pretty fucking sick. And you know, I'm not sure exactly what I feel about abortion, especially in the earlier stages, but 7 to 9 months, like that's fucking ridiculous. You know, that the babies nowadays are like viable at like 6 to 7 months. So in my opinion, if the baby is viable at that point and you kill it, then you're murdering somebody. And I don't think the mother should have the right to murder their child just because it's in their stomach. You know, they're like, my body, my choice. But when does that thing become its own being, right? Like if it's 8 months old and it can survive on its own outside of the womb, should you still be allowed to kill it, right? Like this governor guy, the Virginia guy, is talking about how he would resuscitate it. Then he would talk with the mother and a couple other doctors on what they would want to do with the baby, whether they want to kill it or keep it alive. And you're like, what? Are you serious? So it's alive? You have it alive? You resuscitated it? It's breathing? And now you're going to what? Like snap its fucking neck, then use it for stem cells, or use it, I don't know, give it to some weird spirit cooking rituals so they can fucking eat the baby or something. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, why do that? Like, I'm not saying that that was a joke, but seriously, like that's disgusting. And even if you're for abortions and all this stuff, like you should be against the 7 to 9 month or the third trimester. Like that is just way over the top. But what do you expect with these fucking liberals and shit? You know, they care more about cows and them getting murdered and baby cows and calves. But when it's like a 7, 8, 9 month old baby, then whatever. If it's the mother's choice and she wants to kill it, then that should be her right. And they're like, okay, well, no, that's murder at that point. I'm pretty like that is fucking murder. You know, if the baby can live outside of the womb, that's what I think, anyways. But what was this? Also, there was that fake hate crime that happened in America where this guy said he's a cast member from the Empire. He said some Trump supporters in like masks came, put a noose around his neck, poured bleach on him, and told him this is MAGA country. So, you know, already this isn't believable, but like a bunch of celebrities are virtue signaling with this. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez already talked about this. She's like, Entertainment Tonight addressed it. They're like, breaking, Juicy Smollett, I don't know how to say his name, has been hospitalized in Chicago after a possible homophobic and racially charged attack. And then AOC responded to this, and this got 130,000 likes. There is no such thing as racially charged. This attack was not possibly homophobic. It was a racist, homophobic attack. If you don't like what is happening to our country, then work to change it. It is no one's job to water down or sugarcoat the rise of hate crimes. So, you know, like I hate this fucking bullshit. And you got this like 130,000 likes. Like that is insane. And she's spreading this fake news. It's obviously fake. It's like, really? Who does this? These people, like, who believes this? Like, this, like, you know, like people, they always, every time we see nooses and shit around, it always ends up being a fucking hoax. There was something like that in America a while ago. There's all these nooses around. It ended up being some black kid that did it, and you're like, really, who believes this? Do white people? This is MAGA country. Like, come on, man. Like the only time something like that happened is when there was that white autistic kid that got grabbed by those 4 black teenagers, and he got assaulted in that room, and they're like, you white piece of shit. Like, you know, the only time I've ever seen something like that happen is when it was to a white person who was also disabled. But it's insane that this rhetoric, this fake news is being spread around. It's more of this Covington kid staring at Aboriginals. That's probably another hate crime, and this is a part of the rising hate crimes in America. All these fake ones, like, how many of them turn out to be fake? At least probably 30 to 40 to probably 50 or even more. So, you know, this is totally insane. Then you got AOC and other politicians using this and being like, oh, this is terrible. Look at and it's funny how I always see socialists and far leftists call out like the media that is on their side, that is often like pushing their stuff, because they're like, you see how CNN frames Trump in this way? They're just doing it to make him look good. I'm like, are we watching the same things? Are you watching the CNN and all these other things I'm watching? Like, to their perspective, they're like, oh, I even saw a comment once in Twitter that was saying that the CBC is promoting conservative. It always covers for the conservatives. And this guy's like, oh yeah, if you watch, you know that they always, you know, hold water for the conservatives. They always push their agenda. I'm like, are you serious? Like, how deluded do you have to be? But people, they see a different reality than me and you. And I don't know how they do, but they do. And, but yeah, you know, there's this thing, and you see like Trudeau, he's posting the Bell Let's Talk. And, you know, I'm so sick of commercials. Every time I see a commercial or a company that's like promoting like stuff like this, I immediately get turned off. And I think that they're shit, and I want to now not buy their products, because, you know, this is just going to give them attention. Now you have all these liberal politicians, Trudeau and all of his ministers, retweeting like, let's talk. Oh, Bell, let's talk. And what is this? This seems to me like the government promoting a company. Should Trudeau be promoting Bell? And like, you know, this is just their sly way of promoting Bell Media, like the liberals, and saying like, oh, no, it's because we're pushing this topic about mental health and we want to start a no. You're picking and choosing companies, and then you're telling the world on your Twitter like, oh, Bell Let's Talk is starting. Like, what are you doing? This is leaving the seeds in people's mind to make them think Bell is a great fucking company and shit. But even a lot of far leftists and stuff, they don't buy it, right? Because we all know how much they gouge us for services. Like I said, the article with the Marxist, they're talking about how Bell just treats their staff horribly, but they're blaming capitalism the whole time. They're like, this is because of capitalism, and this is always going to result in this capitalist society on exploitation and yada, yada, yada. But, you know, it's like they once again ignore the fact that these industries are extremely regulated in Canada. But let me check out the chat here. If anybody's got any news they want to bring up, throw AJ at AJ Illicits in the chat, then I'll read it, you know, in case I don't miss it. Hey, Faye, how's it going? Hey, Miss C Gypsy. La Belle Vie. Max Berner is like Preston Manning, the Reform Party. Yeah, maybe. Bernier talks about it plenty. He's a good man, but he knows when to hold them and knows when to fold them. It's pretty amazing he gets away with it as much as he does. Okay, so AJ, Western civilization is destined to fall. You're delaying the inevitable. How so? How am I delaying the inevitable? The problem is like, let's just say it's Western civilization is inevitable, that's going to fall. Well, you want to convince as many people as possible to be more libertarian, to be more for a small government, because what are they going to do when they remake everything? They're just going to redo the same fucking thing, or they're going to fall prey to the Marxists and leftists who say, no, 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 no. We just didn't go far enough with the government. It needed to be bigger and have more power over our lives. So it's either people are going to restart and do the same thing that is going to result in what is going on today again, or people get out of this vicious fucking cycle and set something else up that is going to be sustainable into the future. But, you know, it's best to try to convince as many people as possible what works and what doesn't. You know, the free market works and the government doesn't. The free market produces results, produces things that are cheap, that are accessible for people to have, and the government doesn't. We've always had positions of authority over us, governing the way we live and all this stuff, and that didn't give us wealth and resources and all these things. It wasn't until we had more freedom and the ability to own things and trade and whatnot that we started a huge increase of the industrialization and progression and invention, all this stuff that wouldn't be possible without, you know, the free market. Before that, inventions would happen here and there, and it'd be much slower. But, you know, I was thinking about this earlier today, and how I think about the free market compared to the government. How could I explain it like a type of metaphor? And I don't have it down pat or anything like that. It probably doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But the way I kind of think of it is like, it's like numbers, right? And, you know, you have the government, which is one system, right? And you have the free market, which is another system, right? And I think of it like, you know, you have two different algorithms, right? And you have three numbers. You have the correct number is like 3 digits, and it's like, I don't know, 650, right? That's the right answer. So you have two different algorithms. Now you have one algorithm, which represents the government, and every day it switches the digits or changes the numbers to, randomly to try to get the correct number, right? So it'll be 650. So, you know, one day on Tuesday, it'll be 330. Then on Wednesday, it'll be like, I don't know, do a random, it'll be like 430 or something. So that's kind of the government. That's what represents the government, because the government centralizes decisions. So it's with bureaucracy, it slows things down. It slows down progression because you're not trying a lot of different things. So then you compare that to another algorithm that it's like every second it switches the numbers and changes the rate. So you're trying to get the right answer is 650, right? And you have one algorithm that changes once every day, and you have another one that changes once every second. The numbers, the 3-digit numbers. Which one do you think is going to come upon the right answer first? It's probably going to be the one that tries a lot of different things first. So that is freedom, and that is the free market. And the other thing is the government. And, you know, as we see, when we have centralized power and one group of people is making decisions for everybody, progression is slow in society. We don't invent things very fast. But when we give people freedom, we give them the ability, a free market, to trade between each other, to figure out what's right and what's wrong. You know, like right now you have the educational system, and you have one way of doing it with the curriculum that the government gives people, and you're not really able to divert too much from that. So we're learning probably an antiquated way of learning, when if we had more of a free market system with education, we'd have all these different ways of teaching simultaneously, be working all at once, and some will be awful and not successful, and some will work very well. And, you know, with a free market, with freedom, with the ability to try different things, we're going to find the right answer first, as opposed to the government who's like, okay, no, we'll do this for 20 years one way. We'll see it doesn't work, and then we'll switch it. We'll do it 10, 20 years again then we'll switch it again. So it's like, it's like the algorithm, and everything in life, I think, can kind of be represented in kind of an algorithm or math and stuff. And that's kind of always thought of the free market. It's just an infinite set of possibilities, essentially transactions happening between people. And this is why people are like, the invisible hand of the free market will figure it out. It's not just mumbo jumbo. It's people all making interactions, transactions with each other. And that will figure things out faster than the government setting, a transaction or setting regulations and rules and stuff on how to do things, right? But so, that's why I think the government is always going to be less efficient. Yes, you're going to get a government occasionally that finds a policy that is good and that works and stuff. Just like that algorithm could occasionally come upon the right answer first, compared to the one that switches every second just by chance, right? The one that switches every day, maybe by chance you'll get 650. Just like maybe a government you'll point to and be like, well, see, they're doing it right. You're like, okay, well, they got that answer right. Doesn't mean this is going to consistently happen. Doesn't mean it's a good metric to get things correct. And it's, just freedom in general is better. Exactly. Free market with social media will work the best. Free market with literally anything. People are like, they'll make the argument, well, no, I don't want healthcare to be a for-profit enterprise. It already is. It already is a for-profit enterprise. Are you not paying your fucking doctors and shit? Are you not paying people to fucking work? It's just working less efficiently now. That's all it is. And it's okay if things are for profit. A lot of things in life are for profit that benefit your fucking life, that make your life easier. What's wrong with profit? But that's just indoctrination, right? To make people believe, money making, I don't know, profits are bad or something. I don't know. Whites will be extinct within 100 years. Well, you can't make a declarative statement like that. Yeah, if projections keep going, then they're going to be a minority, but I don't know. 3-star message deleted. What is his messages? I don't know what his messages are. Don't go too gung-ho on the deleting messages. Not all. I got to read them first. We also need to limit the amount of time Parliament employees can stay federally employed. Free market with social media. Nonprofit in the States doesn't mean that they don't make a profit. They do. Oh, yeah. Well, nonprofits are just a massive fucking scam a lot of the times, right? It's not rape if you enjoy it. Feminist mantra on Muslims. So today, Raj Grewal changed his mind to stay in government after he raised funds in India stronghold in Toronto to pay off his $500K in gambling debts, right? So, see, this is the thing, right? This is diversity. This is diversity because clearly this guy is like fucking dirty and all this stuff, but he holds, like Friedrich said, he held a thing in his rally with a bunch of people that are Indian that are probably went there to support him. And because they're of the same group, they don't care if this person is dirty as long as they fight for them and stuff. They're going to be like, But, I guess you can say this about most groups of people, even ideologically and stuff. They will support their guy a lot of times, regardless of how corrupt and shit that they are. He's a Muslim pig. Was he Muslim or Sikh? I don't know. Isn't that hat thing on his head? Doesn't that mean he's a Sikh? This is why only the original four should be in power: Anglos, Francos, blacks, and natives. Everyone else panders to their own group always. Right. I don't think we'll be extinct. Canada and the States will look like Brazil. Yeah, I don't think we'll be extinct. I don't think we'll ever be extinct unless you have everybody grouping up to exterminate us or something. AJ, why do some people believe that once whites become the minority, Western civilization collapse? Well, what Western civilization do you see without white people? I don't see any else. You know, I see like Chinese civilization, Japanese civilization, and all these other civilizations. So without white people made Western civilization. So it's kind of like, what? Well, why would we assume that we would still have it? And especially just if you're paying attention to the rhetoric and to the language that people are using, and you look at voting patterns, it's safe to assume we're not going to have a Western democracy or a Western society or anything like that anymore, because the left, the Democrats in America, the left in Canada, the left all over the world is getting further and further pushed to the left. And if you vote for that, then, you know, that essentially means you're against Western civilization. Will be mostly African. Well, you know what? Like, we shouldn't black pill ourselves and be like, oh, America and Canada are mostly going to be this, and this is how things are going to be. Well, you know, things have not changed yet completely. You still have a chance to change things. Points. He said, white-skinned people are naturally not collectivists due to our evolution in the cold, where resources were scarce. Right. I think white people definitely are less collectivist than everybody else because of our, you know, culture of like, yeah, you know, individualism and stuff as well, right? And probably, yeah, just maybe the way that we evolved and stuff, and it makes us to be less collective. But, you know, this is definitely something that you notice. It's funny that we keep getting called the most racist people. It's like white people are the most racist. It's just assumed that. But I don't know, man. It seems to me that we seem to be the most open and the least racist of people. But, you know, people nowadays, everything gets classified as racism, though. It's like somebody, I think what Ariana Grande had like an Asian symbol on her hand and was spelt wrong anyways. You know, white people don't get fucking Asian symbols on your hands because people just will write like dick on it or something. But she got this and everybody lost their shit. They're like, oh, this is cultural appropriation. Oh my God, you're cultural appropriating me and all this shit. And you're like, oh my God, man. Are you fucking kidding me? It's just a couple Asian symbols written on her fucking hand. And, but, you know, people will, you know, lose their shit and stuff over that. But, you know, you can wear anything you want with white people or white culture, use our language, and nobody's going to freak out about it. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard the, that theory too, that in hot climates resources were infinite, but you know, they also weren't infinite, right? Like I think he's slightly wrong on that, because you know, if you just watch a lot of survival shows and stuff with these indigenous groups and whatnot, it's not like they have an abundance of fruit and stuff. Like all indigenous groups, the majority of their food was meat, right? And it probably was easier to live in the sense that it was warm, right? You know, like it is warm and probably there's going to be more food, but it wasn't like, you know, it's not as easy as like, they weren't just like picking food. Like, you know, people who are alive today are experts on their environment. A lot of them, like not anymore, not us anymore, but the people, especially the indigenous groups and stuff, like they are very socialistic in nature. You know, it's like nobody owns anything. Like these tribal groups, you know, they're like nobody owns anything. But I just mean in a sense that it's not like easy to survive, right? Like it's you know, it's not as easy, but it's probably a lot easier than surviving in the north where like, hey man, it's been minus 50, almost 40 to 50 degrees almost every single day here in Winnipeg. And fucking a lot of other places around the world too. Like, yeah, you gotta be definitely a little bit intelligent or whatnot to survive and these type of cold temperatures. But then again, you know, you look at the Inuits and their IQ isn't that high, and they live in even colder climates. So there is a certain, I think, climate as well. And, you know, there are other factors, right? So, you know, the Inuit that have lower IQs, but also live in colder climate, kind of, you know, goes a little bit against it. But I forget, there was some other explanation for that too. I forget what it was, but, you know, I can't fully remember. AJ, does the N-word offend you? Should people feel offended by the N-word? You know, I think nobody should feel offended by anything, because, you know, you will. I get offended by shit all the time, but we should work to not be offended by anything, right? What does offense do often? You know what I mean? Like, you can be mad, but oftentimes, you know, I don't think you should be offensed. You should find things, you know, you shouldn't be offended. You should learn to brush things off. But I understand why Black people are offended by the N-word. And as a white person, you should not say it. And it might say I'm cucking or anything like that. But, you know, first of all, it's not a kind word to use to Black people and stuff. It is disrespectful, right? Just like I don't want to be called a cracker, this or that, or this or that. But, you know, with that word, it gets confusing, because then people use it all the time in the media and all that stuff. And then there's that one thing where that guy, that rapper guy, told that girl, a white girl, to come on stage and sing his song. And she sang along with the song. And they had the N-word in it. In a circumstance like that, then I'm like, okay, well, stop putting it in your fucking music then. Stop saying it fucking constantly. And then white kids growing up won't think it's fucking okay or something. But ultimately, I think Black people need to get over it and learn how to not react violently when somebody says the fucking N-word, and learn how to fucking brush that shit off. But at the same time, I'm not going to be using it. I'm not going to be calling people that. I'm not going to be using racial slurs just for the hell of it. Just for people that like to troll, and they're like, I don't know, pushing the Overton window. Well, that's just stupid. All you're doing is alienating people oftentimes that could have been your ally, right? You know, people that just throw the N-bomb, like, and they think it's funny, and they're like, I'm cool, I'm hip, I'm this or that. It's like, you're just a fucking idiot, honestly. And it's like, you know, you don't need to use that shit. And if you're going to use the N-word, then yeah, go to fucking Black people and say it to their face, right? And you'll see what's going to happen. You're going to get punched. You're going to get attacked. Not saying that's right. I think people should learn how to control their emotions when confronted with things they don't like. But imagine if somebody came to you and said, your mother's a whore. She's an ugly, stupid whore. What would you do? You know, you'd probably get pretty mad, offended. You might want to punch her. Now, saying the N-word to a Black person, like, that's kind of, in my opinion, similar to that. So it's like, you know, you shouldn't use it. But like I said, it's nuanced. People shouldn't lose their shit over words, right? You should learn how to control yourself. If you can't control yourself when people say things like that, then it shows that you're not being civilized, right? You're not civilized. Let's see here. I agree with you, AJ. We can still change things. Yeah, I agree. You know, I don't think it's a good idea to get black pilled. You know, once you get black pilled, then what? But I guess the N-word, no, it doesn't offend me personally, but I can see how it offends other people. A few years back, when the factory owner decided to move his factory to Vietnam, the workers mailed the owner with the Chinese cops waiting. Forecast. I hear you, AJ. It doesn't fucking snow at my house. I didn't feel sorry for him. I guess Chinese workers can relate to Canadian workers. Last night, I saw the most retarded, deformed Muslim at Superstore, and it literally made me gag. Oh, well, you made me read that on stage. I'm going to get my channel removed now. Syllables offend me. Yeah, you know, big black slong Muslim cock, you know, you can say some shit every once in a while, but, you know, don't spam, right? And our taxes fucking paid for that creeper board. Pissed me off. Let's see. Did you see the video of those Chinese protesters at the school board over Meng going to be deported to the US? Well, no, I didn't see that. They were saying, well, law is the law, but people are more important. What? Are you kidding me? Oh, man. See, like, diversity is our strength. Diversity is our strength. Are you kidding me? Well, you know, I'm not going to assume most Chinese people support her. Maybe those people were paid to do that or something. But, you know, after Chinese threaten the fuck out of us, I just want to like cut off all ties with China and shit as much as possible, as fast as we possibly can. But that's hilarious, right? It's completely hilarious. And I think the U.S. made a bunch of charges against her the other day, like, I don't know, 9 or so different charges. But that's hilarious. How many protesters were there? I wonder if there's a lot. I got to check that out. As a black lab named Niger with 1 G. AJ, do you know who David Reimer is? Reimer or no? I know who David Schwimmer is. My 9-year-old found Niger on the globe. Guess how she pronounced it. Muslims using diversity to divide and conquer us Muslims were the first slave takers, and they still have slaves. AJ, why black people use the N-word, but why we outsiders can't? Well, you know, because like the term does have a meaning, right? And I think it's stupid that they call themselves that. And if they want other people to stop using it as well and all that and use it less and like have white kids stop singing along with it, stop putting it in all your fucking songs. But you know, black people, they have different perspectives on this. Not all black people think you should use the N-word. Some people think you should use it. Some people, you know, but I think that you don't need to use it. What's the point of using it? Does it do anything for you? Does it do anything for them? All it is just fucking, especially from a white person. Why risk it? Why risk even having that tied to your name on social media and all this other shit, where just saying that will discriminate you extremely fucking fast? And it's just something, it's not the hill you want to die on. If you want to die on free speech, die on things that you really can't say. If anything, die on I don't know, saying stuff about Jews or something, as opposed to dying on the N-word and words like this and having yourself smeared over that. Like, that's just stupid, you know. And it's just, I don't know, people have there is a history to the word, obviously, you know, and you know, I don't see the point in using it. No, well, if you were listening to everything I said, if you listen to what I said, I never said once that using the N-word justifies being attacked. I actually said the opposite many times. I said it doesn't justify using the N-word. I said using the N-word does not justify attacks. I said that people should learn how to control themselves when they hear things that they do not like, and I disagree with the reaction that people have to other people using that word. But, you know, it doesn't mean you go and fucking do it. Go and use it. Go, no, well, reverse back and listen to the whole thing. So, but yeah, go. Earlier I said, if you go to a black person, say the N-word, see what happens. Yeah, see what happens. You know what I mean? Go see what happens. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's moral, immoral, or anything. I'm just saying, like, go call the next black person you see the N-word and see, and then try to start a conversation after that, right? Start a conversation after that, right? Like that's all I'm saying. It's never justifiable to attack anybody over words. I was making the point that you got to empathize with people and you got to put yourself in their shoes to some extent. Like, if somebody came up to you and said, your mother's a whore, your mother's a stupid whore, blah, 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 you're a smut, you're a mutt, yada, yada, yada. yeah, most you could probably brush it off. Maybe you'll walk away, but you'll probably want to punch that guy. You probably want to hit them. And saying the N word to a black person, especially from a white person, you got to understand that's how they're taking it. Like that's how they're taking it. And I think that people losing their shit over like that white girl saying the N word on stage when that black guy invited her, like that's stupid, you know? So you have a nuanced opinion. I'm like, okay, well, these black people need to stop putting the N word everywhere and start using it if they don't want these younger people that are growing up in this culture, that's all they ever see and hear, to use the N word. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going to get mad at these people that are saying like nigga, and that, you know, it seems like it's kind of like a part of their culture, but you know, that's the fault of the black people putting it in all their fucking music. But yeah, I'm not going to start calling people the N word and shit. And I understand the reason why it pisses people off. Well, you're really not understanding anything, Jon Snow. So, you know, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. One of the best friends is a half black, half Italian. When we were young, I call him the N word all the time. And I can't believe I used to do that, but he didn't care. Yeah. You know, like I was saying, like there's some people that don't care. Right. And I don't think it should be a big deal in the sense like, but you know, like the word does have fucking a meaning. It didn't have a nice meaning originally. And they kind of, you got to understand, like they did take back the word in the sense, like they did try to make it their own or something. And I don't think that was a good idea either, you know, but it's not okay if a black person calls me a cracker to attack the black person either. But if a black person comes up to a white person and starts insulting them and saying racial slurs, then I can understand if the white person punches the black person. Doesn't mean it's okay, but I can understand, right? There's no double standard. There's no double standard. You're not understanding me. Dumb animals and rational humans. Words are words. Sublate vigilant hero. But yeah, you know, words are fucking words. Like, why can't people ever go back to like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? I've made a video about the N-word about this already. And, you know, I got a lot of people like, oh, blah, blah, you know, the N-word. You're telling us not to use it, because my video was primarily telling people, hey, if you don't want white kids to sing the N-word on stage, stop putting it in all of your fucking music. So it's a nuanced fucking position, right? It's not just don't say it for no reason, you know? I don't know, man. You're not making any sense, Jon Snow. Of course there's double standards with hate crimes. What do you mean? How many hate crimes do you see against white people? There's not many of them documented, but trust me, a lot of white people have gotten attacked because they were white, and this or that. So whatever, you know, you don't look at those stats. White women hate white men. Well, you know, I wouldn't say blacks hate whites. You know, there is a growing group of people that dislike white people, but and it's growing, and leftists push this, but really nobody hates each other that much. I mean, plenty of black people that don't hate white people. You know, we really got to be careful about getting into this type of mentality where we kind of like people think a certain, like we can't be monolithic with the people, with other people. We can't think like, you know, all women are like this, all black people are like this, all white, because then they can do that to us, and all white people are like this. Like, you know, not all black people hate white people, and us being replaced isn't necessarily them like doing it out of anger and spite and bitterness. There's a lot of that shit coming from the left that is making some of these people angry and hateful towards white people. But a lot of people are just coming for like a better life or whatever. But just by their nature, they're going to take over. And just by the fact that people are tribalistic, they're going to pick their own groups. And it's not like people are coming into Canada being like, we're going to take over in 20 years. Just, you know, maybe some people are, Muslims are probably thinking that. But a lot of other people probably know, but they're, you know, that's why we're going to be careful putting negative intent with people, because that will make us feel anger, resentment towards people we don't really, we shouldn't a lot of the times. Like, there are differences. Doesn't mean I want us to integrate and import a bunch of immigrants and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, a lot of the separation, the division that is caused in society is caused by the government pitting groups against each other. And we could have some type of unity one day, not necessarily in a multicultural society, but there would be a lot more peace today if it wasn't for the government going in there and ruining shit and starting wars, regime changes, and all this other stuff. Like, we can be peaceful towards another. We can cooperate with one another. We can trade with each other. We can live side by side to some extent without, being at each other's throats. But this is increasingly more difficult when you have a government redistributing resources from white people to different groups or favoring one group above another, because all that does is create division and hatred. Look at what's going on in Quebec right now. A lot of people in Canada hate Quebec. And why is that? Because the government panders to Quebec constantly, gives them whatever the fuck they want, gives them all this shit. Yeah, they're snooty and shit too, but like, there are many different factors in why people have resentment towards one another, when in reality they shouldn't. How am I contradicting myself? Jon Snow, man, you're making yourself look stupid, man. Honestly, you're making yourself look stupid. Don't do that anymore. If a woman does not have a husband and her lust becomes strong, I have not once contradicted myself. Not once. If I contradicted myself, explain how, but I didn't. So, first of all, you didn't understand what I was initially saying from the start. And now you're saying I'm contradicting myself, which I'm not. Hey, Voltron, how's it going, buddy? Well, blacks are constantly blacks are not constantly attacking white people. There is it happens disproportionately more, but how many black people have you been attacked by, right? You know what I mean? Like, they're not attacking us. It happens disproportionately more, and the narrative of white people attacking black people is obviously bullshit when they do it more than us. But like, we got to be careful, man. We got to be careful about what rhetoric we use, how we frame, how we say things, because that's not true. We don't want to frame people as being bad per se, man. I don't think most Muslim people are bad, right? They're oftentimes just people that believe in stupid shit. A lot of people believe in stupid fucking shit. But ultimately, I think people would rather be in a state of peace than a state of violence. And if they can avoid violence, then they will choose peace. They will always choose peace over violence, typically when they are satiated, when there isn't a scarcity of resources. But I'm just saying, be careful, man. Be careful. Look at the Nation of Islam. They push racism, diversity. Well, yeah, like the Nation of Islam is fucking racist as shit. But honestly, the Nation of Islam, I actually like some of what they do, because like they actually promote have owning businesses and spending within the community. Like they teach people not to do drugs and all this stuff. But then there's like a lot of anti-white and all this other stuff. But hey, if you're an alt-right person, they do call out Jewish people a lot. AJ, how is about non-whites use the N-word? Will they consider the same thing as white use it? AJ, how is about non-whites use the N-word? Yeah, they don't like non-whites using the N-word either. I've seen a lot of black people jump on Asians and Mexicans who think they can say the N-word and stuff too. And they're like, what the fuck? And they're like, yeah, but I'm a person of color. I can say it too. And they're like, no. Allah's apostle, but because I'm not gonna die on the hill of fucking the N-word though. Really, it's such a stupid hill little fucking die on. It's like, okay, I can say the N-word now. Yay! Why would I? Why would I? Why would I ever call somebody, why would I ever call a black person the N-word? Why would I ever want to do that? They can call me, people can call me racist shit. Doesn't mean I need to retaliate in turn. Today on Tucker, a black guest said blacks kill more blacks than any other race. That's totally true. It's the same with white people. It's the same with literally every race, though. We all kill more within our own group than any other group. Blacks have the highest abortion rate. That is very true. And likely true gator hog replacement is not economical. I agree. Gator hog, AJ, do you mean better life with robbing, and killing white people? Better life? Okay, that's not happening on like a fucking massive scale. Come on, man. Be real, man. That's not fucking happening on massive scale or anything. Like, the majority of people are not criminals. It's a minority of people in any group that are criminals. And yes, there's some groups that have a larger subset of criminals, but you know, like it happens disproportionately to white people from black people, or the mugging and robbing, all this shit. But like, doesn't mean the majority of them are doing that. Well, Muslims say that. Yeah, I agree. Muslims openly say they are taking over. A lot of them do. I don't know if they all think that, but there's a lot of them that do say that. And I do have a problem with Chinese overrunning Canada, but not blacks. AJ is playing favorites. Oh, AJ, I wonder how much revenue Bell raked in for its Less Talk scam. Oh, yeah, I know, right? Especially with all the liberals pushing it on their Twitter feed, saying like, Bell, let's talk about mental illness. It's like, that's a joke. These people, they don't give a shit about mental fucking illness. Just like Gillette doesn't care about toxic fucking masculinity. Like, you got to be a complete retard to buy this shit. And like I said, Trudeau is like picking favorites with companies by like promoting Bell and stuff. And, you know, we really need to get competition in the goddamn market, so then we can actually have cheaper prices and we're not pushing this Bell, you know, Bell, let's talk bullshit, right? That, yeah, probably made them millions and millions of dollars, right? But I don't really have a problem with companies necessarily pushing certain things to make money. It's just like, you know, Bell especially, I don't like them. Halal in the same circumstance given before, such as being a journey. Suicide bomber. One sec. Begat everyone. Let me see. I'm Reverend Jim Jones. No shit. Bullshit. Muslims fighting over Muslims for 600 years, over which side they pray. AJ, you said it. Stupid shit. They put women in the home. AJ is right. It happens more of them versus white, but it's not to epidemic levels. Go live in Detroit, AJ. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Of course it happens more. It shouldn't happen as much as it happens, but most black people you see haven't stabbed you, have not robbed you, have not attacked you, they have no intention of doing anything like that to you. Okay? Now, doesn't mean I think we should live all together. Now, there are plenty of problems with multiculturalism, and crime is one of them, increased crime, but there are plenty of other problems. And just the real problem is the government having it there for different groups to take advantage of, to impose their will on other groups. That is the real fucking problem. We don't, the crime and all this stuff, that's a problem, that's an issue, needs to be dealt with, but that's kind of like a secondary thing. The real problem is the proportion of groups, and, you know, white people becoming a minority, and these groups getting more people and getting a voting bloc to be able to take control of the government to implement their policies that are not going to work. You know, that's more of my fear, and a lot of the other things involved with it as well. But it's less to do. There is going to be increased crime as well too, and that is also something you need to worry about. But you know, don't frame it like all black people want to fucking kill you and shit. That's bullshit. Hey man, I live in Winnipeg, and there are plenty of Chinese people, plenty of Filipinos, more Muslims now, and plenty of Native Americans. We have the most Native Americans in all of Canada. Okay? So trust me, I know people as well. I know people of fucking color, man. I know lots of people that are not white. So it's like, no, man. There are like we they're not all out to get you, right? They're not all out to get you. Like remember that, because thinking that, you're actually going to push away a lot of your allies that would actually be for reducing immigration. It's one of the reasons why I don't throw the N-word around too, because you know how many black people would actually be for reducing immigration or actually stopping it? More than you would fucking think. But them seeing a bunch of fucking trolls always being like, N-word, 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 blah, 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 blah. It's just like, okay, well, these people are fucked. I don't even want to talk to them about this. So it's like, don't alienate people. And, if you think they're all fucking evil, like, or trying to like mug you, like, that's fucked up, man. They're human beings too. They're human beings. We're not that different. There are genetic differences, IQ differences, facial differences, but we're still human beings. We can mate with each other. We do have a lot of the same wants and desires, and we're not that fucking different from each other, right? You know what I mean? Like we're different, but we're not that different. Like, come on. Muslims, AJ, you said it. Jim Jones, and he did not afterwards take allegiance from anyone. He asked him whether, if you include one Semitic group, you have to include them all. Begat all those who are black and curly haired, while Japheth Turks begat all those. What is this? Is this something from Islam or something? World War III will be between Jews, Chinese, blacks, and whites. Will fight for them. Who knows, man? I don't know. There might be a world war. Oh my God, guys. Go live in Haiti or Haiti. There are a lot of white people living in places surrounded by black people, and they weren't fucking killed and shit. Like, come on, man. What? Seriously? Don't be stupid, guys. Don't be fucking stupid. Don't be idiots. Obviously, all black people don't want to fucking murder you. Are you kidding me? Don't be stupid. Like, that just makes me think you're stupid. Honestly, don't do that, because it's laughable. It's laughable, man. Come on. Just because though, I know that. I say that all the time. Oh, it's buffering. I'm not stupid. Oh, fuck, it's buffering. I will pay your return flight to come visit me for a week, and you will change your mind fast. Is it still slow, guys? No, okay. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I can convince you. Why are you asking me stupid questions, Jon Snow? AJ, Black History Month. Should we even have it? Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. I thought you were asking something else. That was my bad. I apologize. That was a dick move. But no, I don't think we should have Black History Month. That's stupid. Black History Month is stupid. You should get rid of it. Let me buy you a MAGA hat. Vietnam and Australia. AJ, let me buy you mega hat. Respect you. Okay, let me see here. Is it back? Is it working again? Thoughts on Richard Spencer? You know, I don't really like Richard Spencer. I think that you know, he wants to like control all like the regular white people or something, and is like, I don't know, weird future of like royalty and aristocracy and other shit. Like, I don't know. He thinks that, I think he thinks that, you know, you got to get a good group of smart people in there to make all the decisions. And a lot of what he says just reminds me, he's just a fucking statist, right? Initially. And, you know, I agree like with some of the things that he says, but don't support him. I don't think he has good ideas per se. You know. Yeah, well, I'm backed up, Gator. Jesus, you know, I'm gonna take away your mod ship soon. If you keep asking me questions. But no, holy AJ, you're reading post from 3 minutes ago. But no, because I'm trying to catch up. Transit officer shot in Surrey. Hunt is on. Armed suspect. Police warn public to stay away from area of Scott. Blacks can't work for anything. They are resentful of hardworking, good, white, straight men. Well, not all blacks. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't use like blanketed statements like that. Blacks can't work for anything. They are resentful of hard work. Come on, man. Don't say shit like that. That's not fucking true. All black people. You can't say blacks do that. You know how many black people that you're scaring away with that type of stuff that would be on your side? Because guess what? We're not going to go back to a fully homogenous society, okay? But what we can hope for is getting a majority society. And we still have a democracy right now. So if we want any chance of averting a collapse, right, and having to start anew and all that, then you're going to need some people of color, some minorities to vote with us, right? Now, you can invigorate, like, I'm not saying pander to them, but there's so many deluded white liberals that it seems to me it doesn't matter how much anti-white hatred they fucking hear, they're still going to vote for the left. So those people are essentially gone. Now, our demographics are changing faster and faster. Now, there are people in different groups that are more prone to libertarianism, that do like capitalism, that do like these things. Now, it would be stupid to alienate these people who are also for reducing immigration, reducing all these things, and keeping a white majority. A lot of people want to keep a white majority. They want white people to stay in the majority. Not every fucking black person, all Asian people want to fucking do that. Now, don't turn people away that could be your potential allies by using racial fucking slurs on them, by saying they're this or they're that. Do you like it when white people are said, white people are all evil and white people are all this and white? No, because they're wrong. We're individuals. We're all think and feel fucking differently. Black people, Asian people, they're no different. They're individuals too, right? They're people. We're people. We're all fucking people, right? We're different. We have lots of differences. I have to add caveats so people, well, that means you want a multicultural society and that means you want to put people together and blah, 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 blah. It's like, fuck, man, there's no nuance with people, right? It's ridiculous. Like, I made that video with the Muslim Party of Ontario, and I'm like, the Muslim Party of Ontario is a good thing. ... for now. And still I get all these people, stupid idiots, in my fucking comments. How could it be a good thing? Wow, you're stupid. You're a stupid idiot. You're stupid, stupid, stupid. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, you guys are so fucking dumb. I'm not saying anything about you guys in the chat, but I'm saying that people that were like saying those comments on my video. I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys, watch the whole fucking video for Christ's sakes before you make a stupid comment. Because it makes me think, I'm like, oh, these conservatives are fucking idiots if they can't watch a whole fucking video before they comment and say like, oh, the party is never good. AJ, seriously, come out to Vancouver. I don't know, man. Gator, I don't know what to say, buddy. I don't know what to say, man. I thought you were smarter than this, man. Come on, man. You're smarter than this. You're smarter than this. Don't be fucking stupid, man. You're smarter than this. I should matter. How do you mitigate then, AJ, 20 to 50%? What is the correct number of minorities? Are you asking then those groups be minorities? Think. Yeah, some people want to be minorities. You know why? Because some people are smart and they understand that white people create a society that they like to live in. And they remember the homes that they came back from are shitholes, and they know why. They know why they're shitholes. Not everybody is completely brainwashed and ignorant just because they're not white. Okay? Now, this doesn't mean pander to them like the conservatives are doing. This doesn't mean play identity politics. All I'm saying is don't fucking say the N-word and don't make generalizations about people. Because guess what? That's fucking racist. If I say all fucking white people are this, that's racist. You know what I mean? Why use racial slurs? No point. Why generalize? No point. This is all I'm fucking saying. So, come to Vancouver and you'll see how these minorities really think. Trust me, man, I know how minorities fucking think. And minorities are also into fucking individuals that are not everybody is a collective Borg mind mentality. Just like black people, Asian, white people, just because we are more individualistic and we have that more in our culture doesn't mean people aren't individuals. Doesn't mean just because people have the collectivist culture doesn't mean they're not themselves an individual. Doesn't mean they themselves have different thoughts and opinions and all these other things, right? But it's even for strikes and stuff like that, like Voltron, is that a hill you want to fucking die on? I'm just saying, is that a hill you want to die on? The N-word, is that going to make society a better place when white people can say the N-word and fucking everything's going to be better? How about we die on things that you will at least be banned for, that, like, you know, talking about taboo, talk about IQ, get banned for talking about IQ differences in races instead of getting banned for saying the fucking N-word or something, right? Well, I don't know how to send invites yet. Kelly Day gave me some directions the other day, but I still got to figure out that Friedrich. But I'll argue with you about fucking making generalizations about people, right? Come on, guys. Why make generalizations about people? You don't, okay. Groups, we can judge. Groups are different, right? But when you're talking about individuals, it's a little bit different, right? AJ, I respect your young opinions, but you and Joe Haze have no clue about the city life and the criminal. I live in this city. Dude, I live in fucking Winnipeg. This was the murder capital of fucking Canada for how many years in a row? What are you talking about? What are you fucking talking about, man? The murder fucking capital for how many goddamn years in a row? You know why? It's because of diversity, right? You don't think you know what? I've been beat up by a group of black guys, right? I got beat up by a group of them. I got maced. My jaw fucked up. Guess, you know what? That happened to me by a bunch of crack dealers, right? And they thought we were the wrong people. But even after that, I know that all black people are going to attack you. They're doing this because I've known plenty of them that don't. So even I got attacked by literally 2 cars full of black guys. They jumped me. They fucking sucker punched me, kicked me and shit while I'm down. Like, yeah, bear maced me and shit. So trust me, I know, man. I fucking know. I've been in lots of fights with people of different races and shit like that. You know what? My school was separated down the middle, French and English. The French side was pretty much all white people. The English side, a bunch of minorities, man. I got in fights with Aboriginal kids and all this shit all the fucking time, man. Like, because they thought I was, we were waiting for my friend outside to pick up my buddy to go to a party. And this was years ago. And then all of a sudden, one car pulls up with a white guy in it. One white guy, he's like the ringleader or something. And then there's a couple black guys there, and they're like, "Where's Drake? Where's Drake?" And I'm like, "Who the hell is Drake?" And my buddies were looking at each other, like, "Who the fuck is Drake?" And then, so I guess it was some crack dealer that were supposed to be meeting there or something to give them money. And then two other cars pull up, and then like, yeah, two groups of black guys, like 4 or 5, get out each car, right? And then this time, everything just happened so fast that some people, yeah, came around me and like sucker punched me. And I remember just like pretty much waking up and being maced and shit. But yeah, who's Drake, right? And I'm like, I actually knew a drug dealer named Drake. I'm like, is it that motherfucker like that's getting us attacked here? But you know what I mean? I've been attacked by lots of people. I've been jumped by people and shit before, different races. But it's not because those were individuals, man. I'm not going to assume. I met lots of black people that didn't fucking attack me. You know, I met lots of really cool fucking black people working at my job or other shit that, you know, give me the fucking shirt off of their fucking back, man. You know what? I worked with this little black guy from Africa, and like, this guy was the fucking nicest guy I've ever met in my entire life. The happiest guy I've ever met in my entire fucking life. Like, and you know what? This guy in his country, he saw his whole family shot in front of him, and he had to like smear the blood on his face to pretend he's dead so that people would leave him go. But this guy came here and fuck, man, he doesn't want to take over Canadians. He doesn't want to fucking take us over and shit. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, this is the fucking nicest fucking person I've ever met in my fucking life, even though they went through stuff like that. So it's like, you know, don't judge people by just race and shit. It's stupid. It means you're a low IQ, right? It means you're low IQ if you judge people just based on something like that. But, you know, I'm not gonna fucking argue with people about not generalizing and shit. Like, come on, man. I agree there are differences with races. I agree that there are higher crime rates between groups, different IQ and all this stuff. Doesn't mean I have to be like, yeah, all blacks are criminal and N-word, 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 N-word. Like, why? Because it's not true, first of all. Oh my God, man. Fuck, man. Jesus Christ. Ugh. I need a bong rip, man. Seriously. Ugh. Let's see here. See, my cat disagrees. Yeah, Chupa? I don't know, man. I just think it's stupid to make a blanket judgment and stuff, and say very declarative things like all people are this, or all people are that, or all people are that. Well, all I'm saying is, like, you're not winning yourself any allies, right? Even white people who don't like that type of language are going to be moved away from that could fucking be possibly like listen to your opinions, because first of all, what you're saying is wrong. It's not true. It's not true, right? Most black people are not criminals. I don't understand why I have to fucking argue with that. We should know, we should understand statistics by now. We should know that it's only a fucking minority of people in any group that do crime, that do the majority of the crime. It's not old black men It's not old black women, even black women and stuff like that are doing the majority of the crime. It's young black men. And it's not all young black men. It's a proportion of those young black men. So, yes, they're more fucking violent, all this other shit. But, you know, I don't like doing that. I don't like saying these types of, yes, most gangs are black. I don't know how to better explain this shit. You know, I really don't. I really don't know how to better explain it. Like, yeah, there's more crime. They do more crime. I agree. There's more crime in their neighborhood. Doesn't mean they're all criminals. You know, they're not all like, what the fuck? Jesus. Come on, guys. Like, don't. That's low IQ, man. That's a low IQ mentality. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Used to be, Mike, when Canada only had Canadians. I agree. I agree. What color are Asian youth gangs? What about Hell's Angels? Let's debate, dude. Friday we can stream if you like. What do you want to debate on? Blacks being criminals or something, though? But I'm just curious. Like, what do you want to debate on? Like, I'm down for it, but what would the debate be on? You know what I mean? Because I know I'm right. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. So I don't know. What would it be debate on? Only Canadian gangs we have are bikers. The rest are gangs. Immigrants, at least bikers don't shoot up coffee shops or drive bikes in the crowds. I agree. They're better. I agree. White people are less criminal. I agree. Like, we're less criminal. If there's only white people in Canada, it would be better. There would be less crime. I agree with all of these things. Still doesn't change the fact that most black people are not criminals. You know what I mean? Yes, if you bring a lot of them over or bring a lot of Muslims over, the crime rate is going to increase. I agree. Of course. Y'all didn't know this about AJ. Multicultural minorities will only grow to be majorities. I agree. Well, multiculturalism and minorities will only grow to be majorities. Yeah, I agree. But my point is that it's going to be really tough to argue for an ethno-state, right? So politically, you can try arguing for an ethno-state. Good luck, though. You know what I mean? Good fucking luck. I agree with you. Multiculturalism leads to this stuff, typically. But in the meantime, we should focus and try to work to at least preserve a majority and at least get people would be more willing to, then what is the point of doing anything? What? No, people would be more willing to what do you call it? Live in a white majority country first than living in an ethno state. Secondly, how the fuck are you going to, do this ethno state? Were you going to use the government? How are you going to do? Like, yeah, I'll gladly have that fucking debate with you, because an ethno state, especially in Canada and in the United States, getting that passed politically, that's fucking laughable. You know what I mean? The best thing that you can hope for is balkanization, and then having a specific province where all white people go, and then maybe setting up a government where it's like kicks out all minorities or something like that. But you're not going to get Canada to kick out all of the people that are here already, that are citizens. It's not going to happen. Is the antithesis of multiculturalism. Yeah, Canada is finished. It is finished. The future is not Canada. The future is not America. America is finished too. So is Canada. So is essentially most of the world as the country it is right now. Because how are you going to kick out all these legal immigrants? Are you going to get the government to do it for you? You know what I mean? That's not going to happen. That's never going to happen. Ever, 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 ever. You're going to have massive revolts. There's no way even most white Canadians would ever be for that. And if they're fucking citizens, if somebody, you know what? There's some Canadians that have been here for generations that are Asian or something. You're going to kick those people out? Come on, man. It's bullshit. I'm not contradicting myself, Jon Snow. You keep making stupid fucking points that are all stupid, so I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody's contradicting themselves. America is finished in the sense that, you know what, this multiculturalism, this change in demographics is not going to stop anytime soon, right? And people are fucking tribalistic, and they're going to eventually balkanize. And it's going to happen in America too. It's going to happen in Canada. You know, Vancouver, BC is going to get filled of Asians. Toronto is going to be extremely multicultural. Then they're going to split off. Then Vancouver and that, they're going to fucking split off. Alberta's going to fucking split off. Then they're all going to be their own little fucking sub-nations. And, you know, that would be better. You don't, having a huge government control of all of these provinces is not a good idea. It's not going to work out. Decentralization is always better, and having smaller governments would be better anyways. So fuck Canada at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, we've been Canada for how fucking long? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, whenever the Manitobistan, when that comes around, then I'll be a fucking patriot to Manitobistan. But at this point, it's like, I want to try to switch things back, but you got people who want to do things different ways. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, let's not alienate people that could be our potential allies, but apparently people want to. Yeah, and I don't think it will be good. It won't be good. It's going to be horrible, right? But this is where we're going. All I'm saying is, like, okay, like, what is your position, Friedrich? Is it an ethno-state? Is your position setting up a white ethno-state? Yeah, I see all these things coming, guys. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. So that's the thing. A lot of you guys are black-pilled. You know what I mean? A lot of you are black-pilled. So it's kind of like, oh, you know, it's coming. You know, let's just get ready or something like that. But it's like, okay, no. Ethno-government? You want an ethno-government. So who gets Toronto? So you want an ethno-state then, essentially. Right? How? Yeah, I'm going to have that fucking debate with you then, because I've never heard once a good explanation of how you're going to set up an ethno-state. There's nothing good. Ronnie Cameron maybe had one of the better ideas of moving people to a certain place, and somewhere like in America, all people moving someplace and then, you know, kicking people out or whatever. But, you know, that's the only thing. I agree. Multiculturalism is bad. Multiculturalism will ruin the society. But the best thing that we could do is have no government. Because a lot of these people think what ethno government are, you know what? It's like, when has the government first of all worked for you in the first place? When has it worked for you your whole life, Friedrich? Ethno government is different ethno state, but it's what? What is the ethno government? It's going to be a bunch of white people that are making laws to benefit white people, or to make sure they have a majority or something. Well, good luck passing that politically, first of all, right now. So what are you going to take over the government with force and then usurp it on people and just force it on people? That's the only way you're going to really be able to do it, and you're not going to be able to amass enough people. The best thing to do is to reduce the government, right? Immigration is a government program. Welfare is a government program. What is funding? What is funding the overpopulation in Africa right now? It's the government's and welfare. Okay? You know what I mean? If we get rid of the government that is funding these people to come here, that is taking white people's money, then white people will have more kids. Immigrants won't come here because they're not being paid to come here. The Asian, Native Americans whose population is skyrocketing right now would probably stabilize and go down because they're not making as much money, or they're not getting welfare to have kids out of wedlock and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it would just benefit everybody. But people, they want to use the government. They want to use force. And as we see with history, that never works. And if you think the government is ever going to back us right now, you're delusional. You're fucking delusional. The government will never back us. Well, the fucking conservative government, they're not going to fucking back us. AJ, what exactly do you want? Because you're making no sense. No, John Stowe, you're a fucking idiot. You're the one who makes no sense. You're asking me all these stupid fucking questions earlier that because you didn't listen to what I was saying. And Friedrich, you're a fucking ethno-nationalist or something. So you're agreeing with his stupid fucking questions or the stupid shit he's saying. Not saying anything. No points. No what. Just making straw man arguments, essentially saying, so you're saying black people can punch white people? Nobody said that. Anybody with two brain cells to rub together can tell you that I never said that. Anybody watching the fucking stream knows what I'm saying. So I don't appreciate it when people repeat things that I'm not saying and saying I said these things. What the fuck? The fuck is this shit? And you never fucking put AJ elicits. You keep saying AJ, and it's getting really fucking annoying when I keep seeing Jon Snow AJ this, AJ this. It's like, do what like other people are doing, put AJ elicits, so then at least I see it. Because last time you were in here, you're like, since you're not answering my questions, I'm going to leave now, and blah, 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 blah. So it's like, what the fuck? John O. You know what? I made a bunch of videos about the ethno state or government or whatever. It's a stupid fucking idea. First of all, you know, any government statist idea is not gonna work. But yeah, I'll debate you on it. I don't give a shit. Thank you, Voltron. See, I think Voltron, he gets it because I think he knows what I mean. I don't want to be replaced. He doesn't want to be replaced. But it's about, you know. Sorry, Ada, I didn't mean to piss you off, but I had to ask. Okay, I'm sorry, Jon Snow. I'm sorry again. It's true, dude, but I've cursed so many SJW idiots, white women. We want a timeout, AJ. Debate the topic. Don't get mad, dude. We're all on the same side. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry. Thank you, Voltron, for the donation. I appreciate that. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. But, you know, I'm sorry. I've just argued some of these things and stuff. And I don't, like I said, John, like, I'm sorry for saying that. But, you know, I don't like when people are saying I was saying something I didn't say. I'm like, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say it's okay for people to do that. And, you know, and before I was arguing like, yeah, let's not generalize people. I don't think that's a big thing to ask, honestly. I'm not saying the left is right and we need this and all of this crap. You know, I think, what do we want? I don't want to be replaced. You don't want to be replaced. None of us want to be replaced. And we have different ideas on how to do that, right? We have different ways of doing that, right? So I think it would be better with a small government approach. Some people think it would be better with a national socialistic approach or whatever, right? But generally, but just don't, I don't have double standards for people, right? So I just want to make sure that is clear, right? Well, sorry, David. Yeah, thank you, Gator, man. You're my buddy too. Canada's the states are basically smaller versions of the UN, a larger UN needed government ruling over more localized government. I don't agree with everything you say, but I'll respect it. Thank you, Jon Snow. AJ, what? Goddamn cat, my cat hair. What would be our first steps to free trade? Right. Well, you know what? Like, that's the thing, right? It's difficult because we're just so brainwashed because of the educational systems in Canada about statism. Like, we all think the only solution to anything is the government. It's always the government. It's like, well, we'll have this program that does this and whatnot. So we almost have to break people out of that trance that government is the only solution and stuff. And once people can start to understand that you don't need them to do this, you don't need them to do that, then we'll start to see smaller governments, smaller parties that promote that type of ideology get bigger. But we have, like, the Conservative Party right now that is essentially promoting like a left-wing ideology. So it's no wonder people think the only options we have are statism, right? But, sorry, it's fucking cat. It's like my cat hair. Stupid cat. But yeah, I'm not sure what would be exactly the first steps, but free trade, or you mean free trade globally? To come and see how cucked Vancouver and surrounding areas. I agree. It probably is extremely fucking cucked. And I would like to see it. And I do agree that, there are lots of multicultural, there's so many problems with multiculturalism. I don't want to live in that world. But all I was saying is that, like, yeah, I know lots of great fucking black people. You know what? Like, my niece is black, Aboriginal, and white, right? So, I don't think she's this or that. She's my niece. I love her. Doesn't matter how she looks, what race she is. Who is more cucked, Vancouver or Toronto? Oh, free trade? Well, I would never trust a free trade agreement because we've had free trade agreements in the past. Look at NAFTA. That was a free trade agreement. The CPTT, whatever, with Europe, that's a free trade agreement. So it's like, what are free trade agreements anyways? Do we need them? Because what do? Oftentimes they just create like restrictions in our government. It's like, oh, well, now you can't post this because of the copyright law in this government. And it just usually, makes things more difficult oftentimes. Usually, let's just trade with each other, right? I don't know if we need necessarily a free trade law per se, but I have no problem with multiculturalism, but to a point, we absolutely need a temporary stop right now. Right. And like, I think jumping the gun on an ethno state is kind of like, you're kind of like jumping the gun a little bit. Let's try to at least convince people to stop immigration first and reduce it, and then move into steps at least from that. It is something to work on. I know this is racist and there's good black people. Majority of them in Toronto are welfare and criminals. Well, it's not racist if that is the truth, right? If you say the majority are on welfare and criminals and you look at the statistics and the majority are, and that's true, then it's true, right? It's not racist to say stuff that is true. But I just meant like each individual black person, you know what I mean? Like each one is bad. Each one is a criminal. Like, no, man, like, come on. No, like, that's not true. But I agree. Like, the majority of the crime that happens in Winnipeg is Aboriginals, right? That's true. Doesn't mean I think they're all criminals. I've worked with plenty of Aboriginals that are not criminals, that are great, kind people that would give me the shirt off their back. I worked with this guy, Tyson. He like fucking such a nice guy, man. That guy would give me so much shit for free. A fucking native guy, right? So, yeah, they're more criminal, they're more drunks and all this stuff, but that's one of the nicest guys I've ever met too. One of the kindest people I've ever met. Let's debate for your frustration beer on me. All right, thanks, man. Sorry, Friedrich. I got passionate there, and I gotta work on that, and I gotta work on controlling myself and stuff when I think things and whatnot like that. Was not a good reaction I had and stuff. So I apologize for that. Thank you for the donation, though. I really do appreciate that. And I do feel bad for, yelling at you guys and stuff like that. That's kind of a little uncalled for. But, sometimes I read, you read text and you like, maybe you add stuff to it. You make it worse than it sounds or something. You're like, fuck you. You know what I mean? But thank you again. And I'm sorry for freaking out on you guys. Nothing wrong with bringing up statistics over representation. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. Mafia huge in Toronto. The ones we let in need to assimilate and adjust. Right. I think we all generally want the same thing, right? We all generally want the same thing. And it's immigration to stop and for us not to be replaced. I think even people that don't know that yet, that's what they also think. A lot of people don't know they're being replaced. So you let them know and they're like, yeah, I don't want to be a minority. And you just kind of like let them know, hey man, this is coming your way, and they'll, be on your side, and at least they'll be for stopping or reducing immigration. Most people will be, and even some people of color and stuff. We don't want to turn away potential allies, right? AJ broke my feelings. I played lacrosse in Brampton for the Nationals 41 years ago and went back for the lacrosse ceremony 8 years ago. And holy fucking shithole, Batman! I thought the plane landed square in a third world shithole. Yeah, man. That is a problem. Nowadays it's just really bad. You don't recognize places that you used to go to all the time. It's okay, dude. We're not in a safe space. Debating is scrumming. Yeah, exactly. Well, I've been wanting to have more discussions, debates, and stuff like that anyways, so that's perfect. Dude, you weren't even mad. You said what it was. Italians and Hells Angels supply all the blacks with drugs to sell. They are the ones who import it. It's all fucked. Did this highlight red? Yeah, it highlighted. Fucking cat and cat hair in my mouth. But yeah, it highlights as long as you put the A. It doesn't show it for you, but it'll show it for me. So then I'll see in the chat, it'll be like orange box over it. Then I'll be able to see it much clearer. Still at her AG house. It's going, man. Cliff. The one plus yes, they are deranged gang representation out southwest Italy. Right. There's, yeah, but Italians aren't even white. You know what I mean? They're not white. No, I'm kidding. They're white. They're white. But but yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, I got lots of people that are of different races and stuff that I know are not bad people and whatnot. So I had a debate with Format Fist from Vancouver and real estate and Chinese foreign buyers. Italians are black. Yeah, I agree. Italians are basically black. AJ is a racist. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey BM, how's it going, buddy? Have you heard the term ADOS? No. Italians may have Arab blood. Yeah, probably because they were like invaded by the Moors for all those years, weren't they? Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying. I say that as a joke, right? I'm like, they're not even white, so whatever. I think they're white. I don't know. I don't even know, man. See, this is the thing. Like white, black. It is a social construct to an extent. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, I don't fucking know, man. They're like, is this person white? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, just if you say you're white, you're probably white. Yeah, we're European, we're white. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, I think Europeans are white, right? I don't think like a Syrian. I don't think that is really white, because I think what people think of white is they think of Europeans, right? So if you're European, you're fucking white, like even Eastern. I know JF Gabriel P or whatever. He's like, I don't think Russians are white and all that. And maybe they're not. I don't know. They've had a lot of admixture with other groups and shit too. But race is very complex. You should go to this one guy's channel, Massa Man, I think it's called, and he goes into different racial groups and kind of like, the history of a lot of, he goes really in depth in a lot of these different groups. It's really interesting, but I'm pretty sure it was Massaman. Here, let me look it up. Look up this guy. He's got some interesting content about race, and he goes kind of in depth about the history of how certain races kind of came about and were created and etc. Right? Let's see here. Did you hear Salvini is facing jail for kidnapping for turning back a boatload of African migrants? Really? You know what, man? It's like, I know people were mad at Trump because they're like, oh, they're criminalizing people who are leaving bottles of water out for immigrants. So it's like, well, you're incentivizing people to cross, just like these NGOs are incentivizing these boats and shit to cross, loaded of African migrants, and then they cross and then they tip over and they all fucking die and shit. And you're like, oh my God, man. It's like, that's totally insane. So who is charging him with that? Like the UN or the European Union or something? Like, just tell them to fuck off, essentially. It means America, descendants of slaves, blacks in America with slavery heritage are not on board with Kamala Harris. Yeah, they don't like her. Yeah, exactly. They don't like her at all. They don't like Kamala Harris because, yeah, like there's a, see, in the black community and stuff, like I've dated a black Caribbean girl and stuff, and they don't like black Americans, a lot of them. I'm not saying they don't like, obviously people like each other, but there's a huge divide between black Africans and black Americans and Caribbeans, and a lot of Caribbeans don't even call themselves black, and there's always conflict between black Africans and black Americans, right? And they're always like, I don't know, going back and forth and shit. And so they don't really like each other, honestly, either. Come over and we have water halfway for you. Because the Caribbean culture, they're very traditionalist, and they're very more European in the sense that a lot of them were colonized by Britain, and like Jamaica, they have tea time and shit. So people, they'll be called like Basil, like some random English fucking name or some shit, right? So they have different cultures, different, they actually believe in like some of those Caribbean places, like, a man and a woman stay together, and, they have a traditionalist type culture. And she is so jingoist. I tan, blonde, and gray-eyed, must be native blood. Jamaican me crazy. Yeah, right. I like Caribbean women, but they are not Jewish. Right, that's true. But, I like Caribbean women too, honestly. Dump the water. But yeah, they're very, a lot of Caribbean women, they're really fucking traditional. And they're like, they want to make you food. They want to cook and clean for you. They're going to like stay home. If you tell them to shut up, they'll shut up. All the things you want, essentially, in a woman, right? Right. But, like, I don't really have a problem with race mixing or anything like that. I think it shouldn't be promoted. I think the government promotes it heavily, especially on white people, which is bad. And we're already being like replaced and shit. You mix immigration on top of abortion, on top of the media that's pushing for race mixing. Yeah, I'm kind of like almost against it, but I'm not against really the idea of it. I have no problem. I'm not going to like shun people, because realistically, the majority of any race will always date within their own race, right? There's actually white women date outside of their race less than a lot of other groups. And a lot of other groups are more likely to date white men. So if anything, white men, it's like, we have a bigger pick of who we can kind of fucking choose. And, you have a kid with, I don't know, a black or Asian woman, your kid's half white. I don't know, have your half white kid marry another half white kid, another half white kid. By that time, they're pretty much fully white, So I don't know. What's the deal with Juicy Smaller? Oh yeah, fake hate crime. Yeah, well, he said a bunch of Trump supporters came about him and like put a noose around his neck and said, "This is MAGA, this is Trump's America," or some bullshit. And you're like, oh, that's such a fake hate crime. Most people know it, and they're just running with the story. And Oscio Cortez retweeted it with all her fan base. Gotta go, jumping on the kill stream. You got my contact info if you want to debates. Cheers. Okay. Did you tweet it to me? Or I'll go to your page. You have a YouTube page, right? But if not, go to AJ Elicits at email or AJElicits@gmail.com and then leave a message there. It should be in the description below. But yeah, send me that and we'll set something up. What's the deal with Juicy Smaller? What young white women don't want to do that for their man anymore? Lots of white women don't want to do that for their man anymore, unfortunately. But thank you again for the donation, Friedrich. Sorry again for the back and forth and all that. But hey, it's heated. We'll have a discussion. Okay, we won't even have a debate. Let's have a discussion, right? Let's not debate. Let's try to find a solution. Let's try. We both want the same goal. We don't necessarily have an intention to make each other look bad. You know, I want to hear your opinion, how you think, what you think is possible, what you think would be good, what would be good, and I'll tell you what I think. We'll have a discussion and we'll go from there. But we'll try to set it up in the coming weeks or this week or whatnot, whenever me or you have time. So that'll be good. China sending warning to Canada. But I would rather have a discussion in that sense too. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it can be discussion. We could go argue with each other at the same time. You know, however it goes, right? That should happen at 2 a.m. Ain't no white dudes just cruising the streets to commit hate crimes. Oh yeah, right? Like at 2 a.m. in Chicago, white people are cruising around to do hate crimes, and you're like, yeah, that's not believable. Like, nobody believes that. Most black people don't believe that either. They're like, you know, I don't know. You know, I don't know. And anybody who believes that, they're just hugely ideologically driven to begin with, and they want to believe it. That should happen at 2 a.m. He played for the Tiger Cats also before the Rough Riders. It made for a great night to me. White Western women are wannabe men. They're so undateable. Yeah, right. You know, a lot of them are becoming undateable because they're like told to look like dykes and be fat and ugly. And they're like, you gotta love me and you want to sleep with me even though I look gross. They're like, no, I don't want to sleep with you. You're gross. Yeah, fat is not beautiful. Okay, I'm not saying you have to be a slim, skinny fucking twig. That's gross too. Like, you know, you think guys are attracted to runway models? No, it's disgusting. You know, I want women with like a little bit of meat on their bones, but not fucking obese, not like morbidly fucking obese. You can have some fucking meat on your bones. You don't want to be completely skinny as shit, but a lot of women these days, it's like, cut your hair and get all these piercings and like have one side of your hair come down and have it blue, and then the other side it's like shaved, and you're like, this looks terrible. You look terrible. And then they're like, oh, and you're like, this is just making us. You're trying to make yourselves undateable. You know, you're just listening to the feminist propaganda that's just gonna lower our birth rates even more. Because what do you expect? Yeah, you think a white guy is going to want to date that? No, I'll take the hot mulatto chick over there who isn't dressed like with blue hair and all this other crap. You know what I mean? Like, of course, yeah, I'm going to probably take her over the other girl because at least she's traditional and shit. Yeah, yeah, man, my fucking girlfriend is a Latina, right? So Latinas are loyal as fucking shit. Sorry to say, they are. They're loyal as shit, and the white women today are not loyal. They're not loyal to white men, and that's a fucking shame, and it sucks. But they have been not all white women, but a lot of the new ones, and they have been completely turned against men, or they're like so brainwashed with this feminism shit that they're so anti anything traditional. They're like, I'm not going to cook you a food. I'm not going to make you dinner. I'm not going to do this for you and make you a sandwich and all that. No, no, no. Whereas a Latina girl, she'll be like, yeah, I'm going to make you this. Oh, you want a massage? Oh, you want this? Oh, don't hit me. Don't hit me. You know, they stay in line, right? No, I'm kidding. I would never hit anybody, right? But yeah, like, you know, there are some older white women, I think they're still like that, but a lot of the newer ones coming around, there's, you know, there's still some that are, but increasingly less and less. And it's like, you know, women coming from Cuba or something, they're so fucking traditionalist, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know, you'd be like, go make me a sandwich. And they'll be, okay, okay, I'll go make you a sandwich. And you're like, yes. That was awesome. But no, you ask them nicely, right? Can you make me some food? Oh, of course. You know, and you're like, yes. Great. This is awesome. You know, that's the best. That's why I love women. That's why I don't understand MGTOW people and, you know, incels and shit. Because it's like women are fucking awesome, especially women like that will go and make you food and do all this shit for you and that. Like, that's awesome, man. Like, no guy is going to do that for you. And I wouldn't want a guy to do that. It'd be fucking weird and creepy. But, you know, women taking care of you is fucking awesome. It's a great thing. And, you know, it makes you feel fucking awesome, makes you want to work that much harder. You know, how could you hate women, right? I understand why people hate women nowadays because of, you know, I get it. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But there are just so many people out there that aren't like that. That's why I got mad earlier. I was kind of like, you know, I know so many individuals, so many people that are not as bad as people say they are. Not all women are sluts. Not all women are whores. Not all women want to date up. Some women, I know lots of women who have chosen a guy that was less wealthy, that had less things because they liked that guy more, and they decided, I don't care if I have less money. I love that man, and I'm gonna live with less money, right? I know plenty of women like that too who have done that stuff. So don't fall prey to like the incel propaganda and stuff, or all women are bad, all women, and all white women. You know, it's not the case. It's not the case. There are plenty of great women, all different races and shit. You know what I mean? Like, great people in general. Love, there's no such thing. Well, I don't know, whatever you call it, hormones working together and whatnot. What's your email? Do you mind if I send you a few videos I think you would be interested in? Yeah, go to ajelicits@gmail.com. But I want to set up, what I want to do is try to set up a thing on Reddit, like a page on Reddit or something, where I can direct people here, or like the people who watch my channel, to go and, you know, give information out or whatnot, right? Like, so I have a, what do you call it? Here's my Discord. If you want, you can go in here. I haven't used it in so fucking long, but if people start going in this Discord more, or I start going on Reddit more, and I just had to get enough points, then what do you call it? Then I want to get people to go in there and, like, you know, if you ever got a story you want to send me, put stuff, just put it in the Discord, on my Reddit page, and then I can go later and check, see what stories that people have, you know, that came to their attention. Because yeah, it's hard for me, because I do work too, you know, like I do work, I do other shit, and it's hard sometimes to pay attention, to keep track of all the news, right? But if other people are keeping track too, they're like, hey, you might be interested in this, then yeah, fuck, that's awesome, man, to have somebody, you know, like this is a good story, and I may not cover it because maybe I just don't have anything to say about it, or I'm just tired, or I don't get, but I still appreciate that. And that's just, it would make it, that makes it easier and whatnot. But I put my Discord in there. I don't know if the link itself worked. Let me know if it does work, if you guys can go to it maybe and not, because I know whenever I do a different link, it never really works for some reason. Discord link not working. Yeah, see, I don't get it. I do invite people. Okay, I'm like, invite people. It gives me a fucking thing. And I put copy, right? Okay, let me see here. Let me do this. I'm gonna put this here. But if not, go to AJ Elicits and just type that on Discord. Like, nobody else has my name. AJ Elicits. If you go to Discord and just put AJ space Elicits, then I should come up there as well. So I don't know. I have a link in my description below for Discord. People are telling me that doesn't work. So I don't know how the fuck to send a proper link. Or the white man's last hope. They're still held onto their femininity. How many women do you know between the ages of 18 and 30 that have kids? Odds are that number is close to 0. Yeah, it's very close to 0. You know what I mean? You're a good YouTuber, AJ. You do a good job and you work hard at it. Just a little friendly appreciation. Oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate the comment, man. If you really are, BM, if you really are a Jew, you know Jews never breed outside their own kind. They are very good at keeping their own. It works. I just added. I am the only Jewish guy that is not attracted to Asians. How can you not be attracted to Asians, man? Come on, dude. Where are the people that talk about global warming all the time? It's almost minus 24 in New England, right? Man, it's so cold everywhere. Like, it's crazy. And it's good because we have these invasive species in Canada here, and the minus 40 should actually kill a lot of them finally. So thank God for global warming. Yeah, I'm joking. I'm not really attracted to Asians either, to be honest. I like white, mulatto, like a mix. I like mixes or white. I like white or mixes of white and something else, typically. But, you know, if there's a hot Asian girl, it's really hot, then yeah, I'm going to be like, well, okay, she's hot. Hot black girl is really hot. I'm going to be like, yeah, she's fucking hot. You know, hot. I don't know. I don't find, I mean, Aboriginal girls very hot, unless she's mate C or something. If she's mate C, then okay. But pure Aboriginal, no, I don't think they're very attractive either. But I like, you know, I like black women stuff too. Honestly, I saw this one black girl at the store the other day, and like she looked like she's from Africa or something. But like, oh man, very nice. That's all I gotta say. There's a trick to everything, including problem solving. You can't remember a name of a band, you give up. Middle of nap. Yeah, well, I live in Winnipeg, so we have the most Aboriginal people in Canada. Do most people in Canada have basements? I don't know. Probably. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure most people have basements. Beautiful women all over the world. Those are welcome here. Yeah, exactly. You know what? I just don't want the young fighting age males to come here. Bring as many women into Canada as we want, but keep the children and men out. That's all I have to say. Keep the men and the children and the old people out. Just bring in women from the ages of, like, I don't know, 18 to 30, and they have to all be hot, right? So that's the only ones I think we should let the really hot ones. And so then, because you know what, there, you know, we need more women to breed with, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. We need harems in Canada too. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking, but just the hot looking single ones. Yeah. Well, of course they have to be single, man. What are you going to go in their country and steal married women, bring them to Canada? Jeez, man. What's wrong with you, dude? Tired Canadian? AJ for immigration minister. Yeah. If I was the immigration minister, like, I think people would be on my side. I think even the migrants and the immigrants would also agree with me, right? And be like, just bring the women. And they'd be like, I like that guy. I like that guy a lot. I'm going to vote for him because I want more punani in Canada. And yeah, fuck, you'll see. I should be the immigration minister. They're all tum up ugly monsters after a year or two. Ah, what are you talking about? They're ugly bastards. Who? The mixed kids? No. No, I know lots. There's lots of cute mixed kids, man. What are you talking about? AJ 2020. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to run on that platform. I want to reduce immigration, but only to 50,000 hot women from different countries every year, from China, from this country, from Eastern, Western Europe, you know, like a few hundred from each place, like the hottest ones. I probably like all the women on my fucking channel have just left at this point. Probably, maybe like a couple of you guys are still around, but like, well, no Asian chicks. Well, we're not doing this for you. I make the decisions here, not you. You'll have a nice Jewish wife, BM. I'll get you a nice Jewish wife, you know, and there you go. You should contact Bernier and run for PM in your area. Yeah. Damn you Gentile. Damn you Gentile. Yeah, that's all you get. You don't get any of the goyams. The goyams are for me. We get the goyams. Yes, Asian chicks, Gentiles or genitals. Genitals. I would love to go to Texas. Yeah, Texas would be pretty cool. I'd like to go there. It'd be a cool place. Happy Fox, I'm in US, Texas. Oh, you are in Texas, Voltron. Cool. Goyles. Utah is nice. Yeah, I'd like to go to America. The only place I've been in America was Florida. When I was like a little kid, I went to Disney World when I was like 7. I went to Florida. It was beautiful. But I haven't been since like more than 20 years, so fuck. Wyoming, best state in the union. Wyoming. No, Wyoming is a shithole. What are you talking about? No, I'm kidding. I've never been. I'm just being an asshole. AJ wants to get high. How'd you know? Muslim black dongs, big black. You're fucking hilarious, man. You're hilarious, dude. The big black slongs. Just don't spam that shit. I don't care if you say like stupid shit every once in a while, but just don't spam it. Otherwise, Gator will have to take you down. I went to Florida. Yeah, I went to Orlando too. Kissimmee area. I think that's where I went to, actually. And I went for Walt Disney World or something like that. Mary, beautiful blonde who looked like an angel. Then I found out she was an armed bank robber, a killer, drug dealer, a thief. All her friends were murderers. She brings new murderers home. Are you kidding me, Douglas Thornton? Armed bank robber, murderer, and a thief. I got into your Discord from the link. Just had to download the app. Oh, okay. Oh, there we are. I see some people in there already. Yeah, guys, go to the fucking Discord. And you guys can always go in there, fucking talk or whatever. Talk about news, bring information. I'll put the link in there again. We'll see if that fucking works. I don't know. Put another link, but AJ found your Discord. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because I don't know. I'm practically, I'm not a boomer, but I'm practically a boomer when it comes to technology. Good night, BM. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Sweet. Discord is great. Sounds better than TeamSpeak. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's better than TeamSpeak. But Discord, you know, it's good. It's got a couple different topics. I haven't really, you know, delved into it too much and stuff because I don't really use it, but it's because I didn't have too many people on it. But if people start using it and go to, like, I put the arena, you know, that's just the regular thing, and then politics, funny shit. Like, I'll create more topics, but I can create more topics, then I can put different, you can put different types of news, you know, in funny or in politics. And that would be awesome too, because, you know, it's hard to sometimes organize my thoughts or the information that I do get. So sometimes when you have like news from Canada, news from America, then I can kind of like pick and choose. Oh, okay. Hey, just home from work. Hey, buddy, how's it going, man? Monkey, your generation gives me hope. Reddit. Yeah, in Reddit, I'm on Reddit, but I have to make my own Reddit feed as well. So I'll probably start to do that next day or two. And I think I need like more than 100 points. So I was just waiting until I had 100 points. And I rarely ever comment on here. So I think I'll create a community. Unless I can do that right now. I don't know. AJ elicits. Let's see. Community description. I don't know. Canadian news. A public. Okay. There. Let's see here. Oh, wait. Community. Make sure your community name follows all the formatting rules. Okay. What formatting rules did I not follow? Names cannot have spaces. Oh, okay. Fuck you. Names cannot have spaces. Okay. All right. So the new Reddit mod tools. All right. So here. There. Now this is my Reddit thing here, guys. So if you want, you can go to this Reddit and you can go to the Reddit. What is your Reddit name? Oh, it is AJ Elicits. Or it's actually Alta Gino. It's Alta Gino, all one word. So AL. I should change that. I should probably fucking change that. But it's Alta Gino, ALTAGENO. So once here, let me just put it in here. Alta Gino. But I just made a new Reddit thing. I guess it's my own page. Maybe I'll remake it later because I just made this right fucking now. But so yeah, I got my AJ Elicits, RAJ Elicits, all one word. Cap A and J and E are all capitalized, Elicits. And yeah, so there we go. You can go to Reddit there, subscribe if you want, and you can post to my Reddit as well, if you so please. And then I can get more stories there, and there you go. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Oh wait, that's what Asian people do. My bad, my bad. All I have to do is YouTube, Steam, Discord, and Twitch TV. Yeah. I don't have Steam or Twitch. How did you come up with that name, AJ Elicits? I don't know. I just thought about it. I just thought about it one day. Or no, it started with like Alta Gino because that was just my old code name. And then I, what do you call it? Good night, familiar stranger. Have a good one. But AJ Elicits, I don't know, I just kind of just thought about it randomly. Like my first name is A. My second name is Joseph. So it's like AJ. And then I couldn't think of what to put, but I was like, elicits. And I'm like, that's a cool, like I'm eliciting something, right? AJ elicits a reaction, right? So that's kind of how I was thinking about it. Like, AJ elicits something, like elicit a reaction from you, or a feeling or something, right? So that kind of worked for my video. AJ elicits. That's how I came up with it, though. All I have is YouTube. Every time I think of Texas, I think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, I know, right? I'll never go there for that one specific reason. I'm gonna get murdered by. You know what's funny? You ever see Hollywood? They always make the South look so bad because there's always like, you know, you always think you're gonna get like raped by inbreeders in some southern forest in like Kentucky or something, and then they're gonna eat you or something, right? Traffic's not so bad. We have a lot of bad drivers, but the traffic shouldn't be as bad as it is. But it's not as bad as bigger cities because it's so small. But we just have a lot of bad drivers, though. A lot of stupid drivers. A lot of Asian drivers in some parts of town as well, right? So, not being racist, but yeah, okay, I'm gonna generalize here. Asians in general are bad drivers, and maybe it has to do with peripheral vision or something like that. I don't know, but a lot of them just don't know what the fuck is going on. It's like they don't see out of the sides of their eyes or something. And yeah, that sounds really racist, but I'm just telling you, like, it's the truth. On average, they're worse drivers. Even watch videos, tired Canadian's brain won't figure it out. My younger sister wants to kill me. The South is bad. Cool. Thanks, AJ. I'm not too bad with computers. I'm building myself another gaming PC. Should be up and running shortly. Oh, nice. My buddies used to always make some good gaming PCs and shit. But I haven't played games in so many years, man. I haven't played video games in like 4 years. Pretty much after like my brother died or whatever, I just kind of like lost interest in a lot. I don't know why. I might work tomorrow. I don't know if it's fucking minus 40 again, then probably not. But but if it's like minus 35, then yeah, I'll probably be working. I used to play online multiplayers all the time. I used to be so good at Halo and Call of Duty. I used to be like amazing at those two fucking games, but I just kind of like, for me, and I used to play League of Legends. That was the last game I used to play a lot of, League of Legends, and I got up to like platinum, like above gold, platinum, like it's really fucking hard. And you know, it was fucking difficult, but I just kind of lost interest over time, right? Oh, thank you, Monkey. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, you know, he had a cystic fibrosis, right? So it's just kind of a matter of time. I call it Call of Duty 3. There's video on YouTube. Still can't get by Flying Fish and original Nintendo. Yeah, original Nintendo games, those are good. Yeah, I like those ones. But I used to love first-person shooters and strategy games and stuff. But at some point, I was like, you know what? How am I going to be spending my time, right? I'm like, I always want to be the best at stuff, or I want to do stuff really good. So I'm like, do I really want to be the best at League of Legends or be very good at it? Like, do I really want to like focus and think about strategies of how to play this game better? I'm like, you know, I feel like that's just a waste of time. Oh, fuck. Well, I guess people are probably refreshing. Let's see here. Okay. AJ elicits. Here we go. I'm going to start posting my videos to that thing as well. Go to bed. Yeah, my wife says I'm a big baby because I play games. Real life pisses me off so much that gaming relaxes me. Yeah, man, it does. Like, I don't think games are bad or anything like that. I think if it relaxes you, you should play them. Oh, am I still here? It works now? Okay, good. I live 15 minutes from Cowboy Stadium. My son, 12 years old, plays flag football at the stadium once a year. It works now? Okay, good. Yeah, but, you know, okay, good. I guess, yeah, it froze for a little while there. A lot of people backed off, or maybe they're refreshing it. But yeah, fucking, you know, I like video games. I think they're fun, and I know they're just way too addictive for me personally. Like, I get way too involved with video games and stuff, and I'll get like, you know, completionist or whatnot. So I'm just like, oh, it's better if I just stay away for me personally, because yeah, I'll just get too much into it. See you later, Voltron. Have a good night. Thank you for the donation as well, though. I really appreciate that. And thank you for watching my content, especially if you're from America too. That's awesome that you're watching stuff. Sorry about Canada. Went for the kitchen for another beer. Well, you know what, guys? I think it's getting kind of late. It's almost like 11 o'clock at night, but I want to thank you guys all for joining me and participating in the chat and stuff and donations and stuff. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Gator. I know, yeah, we were disagreeing earlier and stuff, but, you know, like I said earlier, we all have the same goals. Same with Friedrich, who already left and whatnot. So that's something we do got to remember as well. And I got to remember that as well, too, that, you know, at the end of the day, we shouldn't get too mad at each other, and that we should try to work together because we all want essentially the same thing at the end of the day. No time for video games. The world is a scary place. But thank you guys all for joining me, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. So take it easy, guys.